Hello. Hello everyone and welcome to another stream of Plane Shift. You have a small problem with the webcam. It's actually not working. I don't know why. I'm trying to switch the webcam to another port to see if by any chance it wants to work. Seems it doesn't. I don't know why. Okay, but no, it doesn't even start up. It doesn't even start up. Hello, Dermatiel. Thank you for the follow. I'm trying to set up just the stream, but I have an issue with the webcam. I think it's finally dead. Finally dead. Well, the good news is that I have another webcam. Maybe I will use that one. Let me see. Okay, let me try this one. It's probably is even better, by the way, but I need to restart this. Some dust has managed to get in. I don't know if it's the dust, but that webcam always had issues. I think I need to use this new one. I think it's a better idea. Yes, in fact, this one works instantly. Very good. Very good. Where am I? Haha, I'm here. Hello. Hello. For the one of you that don't know and didn't follow our progress in the last few days, we actually released a new version of Plane Shift on Unreal Engine 5.1.1. And yeah, we have some issues, but it's kind of working okay. We have a problem with lights, and I will show you a bit of what I discovered with the lights, because I actually did some tests, and I discovered a few things. So I moved to a separate level, which is this one. I moved to a separate level our lights and torches and fire and such. Yeah, we always have issues, but we work them out. Yes, I agree. We can do this. We can. Okay, I will show you what I learned and then... Which is a bit weird, but... Is what it is. Okay, I switch just the music. Okay, this is a level, right? This is a level that we built yesterday, if you remember. And this level is extremely simple. It's basically the default third-person level with just some additional lights added. Like we have this torch, which is actually taken from our game. This lantern, which is actually also taken from our game. This other one, right? And then this one. Now, what happens is the following. So the way usually I build the levels is... the way I usually build the level, I go to build and I click build all, right? Build all is basically executing all of these things that you see in the list. So it's doing a path, it's doing geometry, it's doing textures, it's doing whatever, landscapes, right? So it's basically a build all that is telling the engine, hey, I want to build everything in my level so it is ready for shipping, right? And if you click on build all, I will show you now. There are two things happening. So it's building lights here on the bottom right. You don't see it because there is the chat in front, but it's building lights. You can see it from this view. And now we finished building lights, and you see what happened? So the scene became completely dark except for this light. And even worse, the blueprint disappeared, right? So there was a torch here, and now it's not anymore here. And the small square that you see are the volumetric probes, volumetric light sparse sample probes. And as you can see, they are all black, except this one, which is the light that is just dropped into the level manually. So it's not part of a blueprint, it's just a point light. So I went to lights, point lights, and I just dropped it this way, right? Now the fun thing is that if I save the level and I reopen it, at least the objects are appearing again, right? So it is kind of a temporary bug that is in 5.1. I hope they will fix it because it anyway is annoying, but it's not doing any damage. The fact that the object disappears is not doing any damage. What is concerning is that all these lights are static lights, and I can show you that they are static light this way. If I go under point light and details, right, you see here on the right side is saying static. So they are static light, and we don't have any light maps, right? We don't have any baked lights into the geometry. And the reason is that I clicked on build all, which seems to be broken. If I do the same thing, but I just click on build light instead of doing build all, you will see the difference. So now I clicked only on build lights, and it's calculating. This thing is calculating 90%, 100%, right? Yes, you see the result? The result of the build light only is that actually we finally get our light properly working, right? So I have no idea why. I mean, I have no idea how they could let such a big bug slip through a release, but it is there. Incredibly enough, it is there. So, and you see also the probes, right? You see the probes, you see the small square. The small square are actually lit. So this basically means that if I take this light and I move it away, you know, the light will remain because it's baked. You see now the light is up there, but this is pre-calculated, right? And so the light is still shining here because it's actually baked into the objects, right? Right. So let's say the bad news is that this seems really to be a bug, but the good news is that I think if I just click on rebuild all, that is actually building everything, and then after that I just build the lights separately, I think we will fix our problem that we have with lights in the game at the moment. I think it will work. I'm not sure if it will work in the same way between different platforms, that we need to check, but definitely I think it will work. So what I'm gonna do tonight, when I go to bed, is to launch a full relight, you know, of all our levels. This is usually taking about 2 hours. And then tomorrow we can see if it's fixed. And if it's fixed, I can release a new client version, which will be the shortest release over release ever, right? But well, we can decide if we want to do it or not, but actually lights at the moment are pretty broken. So now if I save everything, this will stay, right? This will stay also if I open another level and then I open that level, you see that it stays. Yeah, it takes a bit to load, but after it loaded, I think it's interesting to see. Give me a second. If I move this guy before... Huh. Yeah, because it's probably loading them from disk, and then you saw that it popped, right? It popped out. It popped. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Okay, good. So what I want to work on tonight is musical instruments. So now we have Unreal Engine 5, and so we can finally use meta sounds. And our musical instrument functionality that we abandoned for a bit because we didn't have the capabilities in Unreal Engine 5 can be re-implemented. So what I want to do, I want to go and search. I think it was this one. I want to go and search the project. No, wait. It is on 503, so we have to convert it to 511. Yeah, we did it with the previous version of the engine. Is it starting? I think it's starting, probably. Yeah, it is. It is starting, but we don't need it. We don't need it with that engine. We need to switch engine. So let me switch. You see that is on 503. So we have to go with the build, source build at 511. I don't think you need to regenerate anything because we didn't have any source code. Okay, yes, it's complaining about media assets, and that's correct because this plugin is actually not installed at the moment on Unreal Engine 5. On Unreal Engine 5.1. Now, my policy usually is for the plugins that we really need to actually move them to, I mean, not to install them into the engine, but to move them to our project, right? So we really have in the project, you see like here, we have project plugins, right? And inside plugins, we have this guy. So, which I think is probably a better way. So let me try to copy everything that we have here under media asset, which is the one that we require. And we will move it under meta sound, and we create a directory called plugins. And under plugins, I think we can Okay. We can paste that. And now we will try to start it again and see if, I don't know if I have also to enable it on the U project or not. But probably he will find it because it's a project plugin now. Yes, it is. I think it is starting. It's calculating shaders. I was drinking. It's taking a lot to calculate shaders, but it's fine. I don't know why it's taking so much, but probably because this project has not been open since some time. It was actually open in another engine. So the plan is, let me open up our plan, because we had a plan for musical instruments. And I think it should be also musical instrument. I don't know if it was meta sound or music 1, 2, and 3. I think are these 3 files. No. Okay. So are actually those 3 files. So this one. So this was our plan for musical instruments, right? And we actually reached a pretty good point in Unreal Engine 4, at least up to. We were able to read the MIDI file, if I remember right, and we were able to detect the track ID. And we were able to see if actually there was a note or not, right? So that we were able to do. Yeah, but I need to... Yeah, I need to refresh a bit my mind on how it was done. But we have a specific window dedicated to that. So we need a PS Unreal 511. It's still calculating shaders. Okay, let me see. I think there was a server song manager or server song. Yeah, exactly. Server song manager. This one, I think we used only a few pieces of it, but handle play song. So we have handle play song, handle stop song, update musical sheet, and update musical sheet title, and get a keep instrument. Yes. So this one is good, but there should also be inside our player controller. Exactly. We have receive musical sheet. Request load MIDI file. Okay. So this is the backbone of our musical instrument functionality, right? In particular, the loading, I remember that we did it. So this loading should actually be functional. Because we were able to load Songman. I remember that we were calling this. Meanwhile, it's still calculating shaders. Oh my god. 265 left, so it's pretty much done. What is going on? IntelliSense very slow. Shaders very slow. Come on. I assume, okay. Yeah, I was assuming that when the shader finished, this would finish as well. We were compressing the musical sheet into an array of uint8, yes, that I remember. And then we were loading the musical sheet, yes. Validating it, so I think this part was actually running. Okay. So I think that this piece was, this piece is probably working as expected. With the update of the musical sheet title. So this is actually the upload, right? I don't remember if this was actually doing something or just pressing random key to see if there was a no. If there was something popping up. In theory, should be inside third person, right? Okay, don't remember at all. I don't remember at all.
So with the 5.0 release of Unreal, I've noticed the
Wait. I think the easiest is to go in our channel, search musical instruments, check the last one where we were working on musical instruments, which is 885. Wow. Kind of some time ago, and just check where we left. What is the name of this project, by the way? It's not visible because it's on top of that. Unreal Editor 503. Okay, let me just check what we were using. So you are seeing probably two of myself and two of yourself as well, because I'm watching a video. Watching a video. Yeah, it's meta sound. Is this one? So we were using this one, or no? Wait. Yes, here I was recompiling everything and. Here I was recompiling stuff. I think here I was working already in the new game though. Let me see, what file do I open? MIDI project. MIDI project. So we were working on the MIDI project files. Okay. I will leave this video open because it may help me to... So I think on MetaSound we only tested the actual MetaSound functionality, but on the MIDI project, I think that we tested the import functionality and the actual play. They are not in alphabetical order, I see. Okay. Actually, we have two MIDI projects. We have a 426 MIDI project and a 5.1 MIDI project. I think it's this one. I said convert in place because anyway... Yeah, but we need again the MIDI asset. Let me understand where that MIDI file is. 5.1. C Unreal Project MIDI Project EU5. C Unreal Projects MIDI Project EU5. Okay, the last time we changed it, okay, well, it was today, but in reality it was the middle of January. Yes, it was the middle of January. So I think that we will create here the same plugins directory, and we will copy the same plugin again just because I want to have it there as well. Which is this one called MIDI Assets. Okay. Now we try to open it again. You should not complain anymore. I remember you tested the 5 functionality of MIDI. Yes, we tested it, and also we developed quite some pieces. I just need to put together the pieces because we have the server side that we have built. That is here, and we have the client side, so the pure play that is inside, I think is inside this project. Problem is that we need to recompile shaders again. Oh my. Okay. Need to recompile shaders again. Okay, meanwhile is it recompiling shaders? Let me just refresh my memory on... So we have a music validator. Validate musical sheet. Let me see. Validate musical sheet is yes. Using the music component. That is the one that we loaded from here. So this one load from array. Should be very, very simple anyway, because is using the MIDI asset to load the file, and then is checking the first track. Also, Visual Studio doesn't want to collaborate tonight. Come on. I just asked to go to that class, right? Which is, you know, a few lines above, but seems the Visual Studio is also a bit slow tonight. Or I can go manually. I don't know. Okay, did it. Is this one? Yes, and this one is just reading the data directly. It's putting into the stream buffer, and then it's creating the MIDI file. And this one is the one that is inside the library. Okay, so we are just giving a sequence of integers in an array, and this one is actually reading the MIDI file. And it's loading into the processor, and it's doing, you know, all the stuff that we need. And here we are already inside the plugin, by the way. Here we are already inside the plugin. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so all of this is good. Now, what I don't remember is when I click on play, which is this is the piece that we are missing, right? When I click on play, there is an item ID, and the item ID corresponds to the musical score that you have in your inventory. Okay, so this represents the item that you have in your inventory, the musical score. And this one is sent to the only thing is that request song play. Request song play server. I don't understand the difference between the two, actually. Handle play song in song manager. It's exactly the same. Why we have two functions? Because probably one we can call it already server side and the other not. I don't know why we have these two functions. I don't know why we have this and this. It's kind of strange. Seems to be a bit of a duplication. Maybe there was a reason. Let me see if anyone is calling this function. If not, anyway, we use the other one. We use this one, request song play, which should be called by the blueprint when you click on play on the window. You know? No, I think it's not used. At the moment, it's not used. So the one that is used is this one. And this one is going in Song Manager. And it's going in handle play song. And handles play song, what is it doing? Extract the instrument used to play the song. Okay. Now this part may be old. This part we may need to redo. Yeah, it is checking all the parameters of the song, is evaluating the script, and then is checking if you can play that particular score and what is the overall score rank. And then if we can play, then okay, and this one is the call that sends back this broadcasting. You see, it is a while, right? So it's broadcasting to all the other players around. And so we need to see if this then receive play musical sheet is actually working on the client side. Receive play musical sheet. Which is here. Okay, and here, exactly. And here is where we stopped the last time. Here is where we stopped. So here we are on the client. We have our musical sheet, and we can just play it. I don't understand why this musical sheet is an F string and is not again an array of uint. That is kind of weird, but okay. Finally, our editor started. Open media output. Send me the event. Why this part is not working? Because I deleted some... Send me the event. I think this was part actually of, you know, MIDI interface, but the question is this needed, right? Because I think this one was really for MIDI interface. And here we are now using the MIDI interface. We are using meta sound. So the only thing that we need this function, which is generating the events, right? I don't think we need any of this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we don't need this. I think we don't need everything that here is yeah. Stop all MIDI. I don't think we need any of that. Yeah, all this is obsolete, right? This was when we were using the MIDI output, but here we are using meta sound output. Gamble 10. It sucks, I lost 10 points. You lost 10 points, you have 41,000. 41,000 is a lot. Hello, Ula. Hi. So... on MIDI event... meta sound, exactly. We heard 1 beep. We heard 1 beep, but I think that we heard 1 beep because that was exactly the song that was loaded, actually. Yes, it was 1 note, 32, 120 BPM. That was exactly what it was. Why there is that strong, very, very strong click at the end of the note? Didn't we solve that the last time? Well, I remember that we solved it for all the notes that were going in a sequence, but for all the others, it seems that we didn't. I remember that we did. But you hear the click, right? So it's a super strong click. It's a super strong click. If I remember right, there was this not off. Oh my god, I don't remember anything. No, I remember a bit, but not really all. The click I think is only on the stop, not on the start. But this not off. The key was this not off, if I remember right. Execute trigger parameter. Not off has to be called on the audio component and not the sound. Has to be called on the audio component. Is it the audio component, the one that we switch, or yeah, in theory, yes. Yes, the audio component is the one that we switch. Because you see that we have meta sound source and meta sound source 1. So we are switching between 2 different meta sound sources, and we are setting into this temporary variable, and then this temporary variable is passed to this function, and this one so is receiving one or the other, right? And this audio component is the one that when it receives the note off is executing the trigger. The only problem I think is that may be that we do the off on the wrong MIDI event. We filter only. We filter not. If it's not on, we go here. If it's not the not on, so it may be, for example, the not off, right? It may be the not off. We go here. The problem is that we need to stop the that's a kind of an issue though, huh? Because we need to stop the right audio component. I mean, I can stop them both, but I just want to see if I stop both audio component, if it's actually removing the click. I think it should, but I'm not. It's a bit weird because in theory the click then should have been only on one of the two, but hello. Hello. Hey, Unreal Engine. Hey. Hello, people. Hey, thank you for joining. We are working on meta sounds and the ability to play a particular score in our game. Our game is an MMO and we are building the musical instrument functionality. Actually, we just upgraded to Unreal Engine 5.1 just a few days ago. Not without trouble, I would say, but with some trouble. But we are actually now on Unreal Engine 5.1. We were on 4.27 before, and a few days ago we migrated. Here is a bit of the story of the migration if you want to read it, but basically we are not yet using a lot of the Unreal Engine 5 functionality because we just migrated, but we are planning to use definitely meta sound, the new particle system, Niagara, and the water system, right? So these are the three systems that we would like to use. And thank you a lot for the raid. Hello everyone. Not too much trouble. I don't want to. I don't want to give you a list, but there are a few things, yes, but a few things that I guess you are already aware because they're also listed in the issue tracker. So, I mean, all stuff that we know. And hello, Psycho City Grow. Hello. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, everyone. So, yes, we're working on meta sound, and actually we have the idea is to use a MIDI reader to read the MIDI files and then to play with meta sound the result, right? And at the moment, this is not our project. It is just a sample project with a test map that I'm just testing the functionality. Our project is this one, is actually built with C++ and blueprints. If you want to see a bit of our project, I have some screenshot here. So I don't know, like this one. There is a part of one of the cities that are in the game, and our graphics are a bit outdated, but the main reason is that the game has been created a long time ago, and then there is an underwater view, and then it's been ported to a real engine from another engine, right? So, but yes, you see here is another city, another part of the city, and yeah, we anyway, the game is fully functional and is free to play. We don't have any commercial aim. So if you want to try it, give it a try, you can just go to our website, is in the link below. You can click on download, and we are actually distributing the game for Windows, for Linux, and for Mac. Incredibly enough, yes, we are distributing also for Mac. And so you can actually run on these three platforms. The Mac binary is at the moment Intel binary, so it's compatible with M1 and Intel. And Linux binary is pretty much compatible with every Linux system. So yeah, if you want, give it a try. Is playable, it's definitely playable. So okay, so if I click play now, okay, so it happened pretty much what I thought it would happen, which is, I mean, it's a bit long to explain exactly what is happening, but I will try. So we have a score that is very simple score. I don't remember if it's this one or this one. Yeah, it's exactly this one. It's exactly this score, okay? So it's just, I mean, at the moment it's just a test, so it's a simple scale, you know, with these notes that are pretty fast. And the problem of playing notes of a specific length is that you need to tell meta sound when to stop the sound, right? And if you do it with slow notes, it's not a big issue. But if you do it with fast notes, then you need to use two different audio components. So the solution that I found to be able actually to play is to play properly very, very fast notes without, let's say, the click at the end, is actually to use two different audio components. So that is exactly what we are doing here. That is, I'm switching between, I have a kind of a flip-flop here in the middle, and I'm switching between the two meta sound sources, and then I'm calling my play function that is taking as an input one of these two sources. So let's say that when playing fast, the first note is going on one audio component, and the second note is going on the second audio component, and then this one is on the first, on the second, on the first, on the second, on the first, on the second, right? So this is the way it works. And actually it works very well for fast notes. Now I was trying to fix the click here, and for some reason I am not able to, right? And I'm trying to understand why. I try to stop the audio component, both audio component, but this is obviously generating then in the fast notes the fact that we are missing some of the notes because they are stopped too quickly, right? You can hear it easily when we play the fast ones, right? So here we are here. You see, and you lose the sequence, That is because I'm explicitly calling the stop meta sound. If I don't call the stop meta sound, then my slow notes will still be with a click, but the fast ones will be okay. You see? Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-bam. This cute character running over the stream. Yeah, when you speak, your character should speak as well. So you are one of them. I don't know where you are, because with the raid of Unreal Engine now we have a lot of people, but you are one of them. You should be able to identify yourself when you speak. Yeah. There is really so many people now. Okay, so the point is that it works well with the sequence. We have a problem with the long notes. Now let me understand one thing. How are we playing? Okay, we are playing like this, right? We are playing like this, selecting the note, and then executing the trigger on, which is the not on trigger, right, on the meta sound. And this is the meta sound that is receiving the note on, and is then going through this envelope and such and whatever. Now, do I have the curve saved up or not? I didn't save that file. I remember we had the sustain decay curve saved up, no? Sustain decay sound curve. Yes, this one. Exactly. So this one, okay, probably not. And we can copy this image anyways. This image here is exactly this image here. So let me put it. I don't know if I should put it here or here. Musical instrument. This is music 1, music 2, music 3. Okay, let's put it in music. Oops, that is very big. Okay, let's put it here. No, wait. This way is like too ruined. Let me just copy it like this. Okay, so what is the point? The point is that in MetaSound you can decide exactly how long is each of these phases, right? So how long is the attack, the decay, the sustain, and the release? And this is done inside of this ADSR envelope, right? Which is exactly attack, decay, sustain, and release. So this name is just an acronym of the image was in 4 and you were using 5. Yes. Yeah, if you are dropping bombs right now, it will be a lot of people flying. A lot of people flying. So here I think I was doing a bit of a test, right? I was doing attack time 1, sustain level, attack time 001, so it's very, 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 very fast. Sustain level 1 and release time 001, right? Now, Now the point is, should we create a different envelope with a different sustain level? Because this sustain level of 1, is it really good enough for us? Right, you see? So the sound itself has a bit of a click. I mean, it's not that he has a click. He doesn't have the click. But the fact that it's abruptly starting and abruptly ending, right, is the one that is giving the click. Actually, the duration of this sample is 0.49 seconds. So if I change the meta sound sustain level to be shorter than that, so I do, for example, 0.3, in theory now it should not click anymore, right? It should not click anymore. The long notes, well, they will not be that long, but they will not click anymore. They are clicking anyway. It's a bit weird though. Why is is the release time too short? Is the release time too short? No. Okay, let me just be sure that we are using this one. We are using the new meta sound source, okay, because I think I did some changes. There is a new meta sound source, okay, new meta sound source, okay, 1. I want to be sure that we are using, because I did some test and it was quite some time ago. It was 2 months ago, so that is why I need to be sure that where do we assign the meta sound? I think at the beginning, in the initialization, we are assigning new meta sound, okay, and new meta sound. We are assigning 2 different sources. So it's 2 different meta sounds. Yes, I think this was also the point, right? You had to assign 2 different meta sounds. Otherwise, it was not, at least, I don't know. So in theory, we need to do the change also to the other meta sound if we want it to be the same. So let's say 0.3 and 0.1. But it's strange though, because in theory, if this would work, it's still clicking. It is still clicking. It is still clicking. So the wave asset is okay, the play of the wave is fine, the multiply with the envelope is okay. I think the note on and not off are also fine, but I think we have a bit of a problem with probably with the decay, maybe the decay of 0. Decay sustain. Well, the decay we don't really need. What we need is the release, right? The release should be... I mean, I can have a decay of 0.1 and see if it makes any difference, but I'm not that convinced. I don't remember if there was a compile issue on the meta sound that we had to recompile to... Well, there is definitely less click, eh? There is definitely less clicking. Let me stop the music 1 second. There is definitely less clicking than what we had at the beginning. No, this time there was a lot of click. This time there was a lot of click. Why sometimes yes, sometimes no? The problem is that we are getting the note of... Yeah, I think I know why. The problem is that we are getting the note off from the MIDI after this duration. And I think this duration is longer than our note. I think that's the problem. And so we get anyway a cutoff that is... so we are playing the full sample. Even if I set 0.3... I think are we playing the full... So if... let's assume that the wave sound is like... so we don't get the release. Yeah, I think if we don't get the release, if we don't get the off... No, I need a... yeah, I think that's the problem, boys. I think that's the problem. I think I need a sound that is longer. And I think I need a sound that is longer. I mean, a sample, you know, I need a sample that is... all these samples are 0.5, 0. So I would need a sample that is like 2 seconds. If I have a sample of 2 seconds, I think we can play with that. Let's go on free sounds 1 second and see. We will take something like flute and we will say only Creative Commons. Uh-oh. This can be okay. Just to, you know, just to test it. I think it's perfectly fine. So we just need a sound that is more than 2 seconds. Now, if he's doing this tremolo, we don't really care. For our test, it's perfectly fine.
Practice does make perfect.
It does. Definitely it does. So let's call it flute long. Okay. Let's call it flute long, and let's import it. Do I have it already? No, I don't. Huh? Because at the moment I think we only have a problem of length, not a, wait a second though. Let me just edit it because I don't want that it starts with I really want this sound to be full, right? Okay. So how long is this? It's 2.5 seconds. So I think it will definitely be longer than the MIDI event that we are receiving. So what? Can I do this anymore? No, I can't. Okay, flute long. Where is it? Flute long. It's a bit low volume. It's a bit of a low volume. Better. Okay. So now let's use this one. Let's use always this one, okay? Maybe it's not the best idea, but let me copy a queue because I need to be sure that the queue are using the same settings. So I will call it flute long queue. And we will take this guy. And everything else will be the same, right? Okay. So we have our queue file. Now, let's use this one even if we receive other notes. So let's say that we don't care at the moment. We just want to play that song, that note. So whatever note we get, whatever note we get, just a second, because this is the audio component. I'm setting my variable, yes, this one, my variable to the current note, right? And it is the wave file. So I can just say this, right? Set current note, and here we select our flute long. So basically every note will be this note now, right? Every note will be this note, which is not exactly what we would like to have at the end, but now for the test is fine. So okay, let's just play it again. Exactly. There is no click. You hear that there is no click? There is no click. Now there is a bit of that, you know, there is a bit of a drum sound, but I think there is the fact is that is always the same note, and the note probably is not maintained exactly at the same tone during this. It's going up a bit, and so when it loops back, it sounds like he's restarting, right? So it's not a electronic sound, it's a human sound, and so it has a kind of that effect. So yes, I think, but anyway, I think that this proves that if our sample is long enough, and so we don't hit the end before we receive the MIDI note off, then we don't have the click, right? Which is exactly what I wanted to. So let's say to do it to do another test, if I significantly increase the speed, now this is already very, very fast, right? But yeah, I mean, it's this part of the test, right? This part of the test does not click because the note off is arriving before the end of the sample, before the end of the wave ends, right? So basically we need as instruments something that is longer than 0.5 seconds. I think these ones, even if they are good, they are not long enough. They work only when played with fast songs, right? So I don't know if any of you is playing the flute, but I need samples for the flute Now, in case of drums, let me try 1 second the drums. Yeah, the drums in this case doesn't have a note. The drums do not have a note, so I cannot really test it that way. Now, the only thing that makes me, you know, that is kind of weird is the only thing that is a bit weird now is the... So let me see what happens if we use only one meta sound, okay? I think if we use only one meta sound, we have the problem anyway, I think. So new meta, so this is new meta sound 1 and this is new meta sound, let's say 0, right? So if I select new meta sound 1, and so now I have 1 on both audio components, right? I think this was not working. It is? Okay, seems that it is. So we can, I don't remember why I did the 2 different tests, probably because I wanted to see, Now it will click, but it's fine. Okay, I don't remember why I have set the 2 different sources the last time, right? I don't remember if it was a problem with the different decay time or what. But what I see is that the changes that I do here are not really affecting. It's kind of strange though, because the release time, so if I say, okay, let me try sustain level 0.1, okay? Sustain level 0.1. And decay time, let's go 0.01, which anyway, the decay, we don't care. We care about the sustain, right? This can even be 0. Actually, we had it at 0 originally. And let's do it with Metasource sound, with Metasource sound 0. Yeah, let me do it with the base one. New meta sound source, okay. New meta sound source, okay. Okay, so the only thing that I remember is that if you don't save, compile, whatever, this may not be updated immediately. This is very strange though. It's not doing what I would expect him to do. What I would expect him to do on this curve, you know, is to have a very short sustain now of 0.1 seconds. So I don't understand why the sound is still sounding fairly long, right? Is it because until we receive the release, he's not really doing the release, I guess? But there is something that I'm missing in the theory. I mean, why if I have a sustained level of 0.1, anyway, my sound is long. Trigger to start the release phase. Okay, so you cannot stop it unless you have a release. Okay, I understand. But then this is a bit pointless. Like if I put like 5 seconds here, it would be the same anyway. I think it will. So if I put 5 seconds, probably that thing is valid in other cases. No, but I need to do, sorry, I did a stupid thing because I need to do the test, you know, when my sample is anyway long, right? I need a long sample. If I don't have a long sample, my 5 second of sustain. Okay. If I go 1 second, why the volume is changing? Do you hear that the volume is different if I do 5 or 1? Because it is a sustained level, is not the sustained time. Oh my god, okay. Is the sustained level, not the sustained time. Stupid me. You see, attack time, level, time. This is level, so this is the volume. This has nothing to do. So this should stay at 1, right? I was looking at the wrong parameter, basically. So the time, okay, so we cannot control the sustained time from here because the sustained time is managed between the trigger attack and the trigger release. So the trigger attack is here and the trigger release is here. Okay, now I'm starting to understand it a bit better, I guess. So I think I start to understand it a bit better. So there is the trigger attack, right? Which for us is called not on, but it's the same. And this is the trigger release, right? So we can decide this time. So this one is the attack time. Between here and here is the attack time, right? Between here and here is the attack time. Wait, let me make it a bit small. Okay, between here is attack time, and this one we can decide. We can. Here is the decay time, and we can actually decide this one. Here is the sustain time, but we cannot decide it, so we don't have a way to decide this. And we have the release time, right? Which is the time that this curve is going down. So we can control 5 things, right? The ones that are now on screen. So trigger attack, attack time, decay time, trigger release, release time. We cannot control anything else. So the sustain is just generated by the start and the end, right? So sustain level is just the volume. So now, okay, so now that we understand that, so if I increase a bit the decay time and the attack time, I mean, the decay time to me can be 0 because the decay time is this part, right? I don't really care if the sound is like reaching the volume, whatever. I mean, I don't think I care. But now the point is, if I make the attack time and the release time longer, you know, the sound should be smoother. Now, if the note is very, very fast, unfortunately, we will lose it. So I think that we need 2 different envelopes. One when the note is long and one when the note is fast. Otherwise, it will not play properly. woo. You see that now we did more of a woo 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 woo, and that's because the attack and the release are fairly long compared to the actual sound, and so it becomes like a curve, you know. It becomes like this, right? It goes up and down immediately. I mean, the middle part is not even very, right? So it's not this, right? So sorry, it's not this, but it's this. And so it's more of a woo 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 instead of a do 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 do, you know, the kind of a long and the drum beat. Before we had a kind of a drum beat kind of effect because it was going up very quickly. I can reach again the drum beat effect if I go attack time 0.01 and release time 0.01. So they will basically very, very, very fast. And this will be noticeable only in the fast notes, right? Well, no, also, no, I think also in the long notes. Also in the long notes. Do 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 do. You see that it's way more do 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 do, way more sharp than this. So yes, I think at the end we need two different envelopes. You see that it was smoother, right? It was less sharp. So, but obviously, the smooth or sharp is a function of how long the song, the sample is, right? Understand? So how much the curve is taking time compared to the actual sustain, right? So that's kind of the magic formula, you know, that tells you if that is sounding sharp or is sounding smooth in terms of going up and down. I restarted the music. The question is, no, there is a fundamental problem though. There is a fundamental problem. The fundamental problem is that I don't know the duration of the note before the note ends, right? So I can only use one envelope because I cannot choose the in theory you could say, oh, if you know that the note is long, right, pass like another variable to the meta sound here and use an envelope that has a longer attack time and release time. But I cannot do it because the way the MIDI file works is that it's telling you when the note is ending, when it's ending. You don't know it up front. It doesn't tell you this note will last, you know, 1 second or this note will last 2 seconds. It's not telling you that. It's just sending you the events at a given time. So unfortunately, we cannot use different envelopes unless we pre-parse the MIDI file and we extract the duration of each note and then we have it, right? But I don't think it's really needed, meaning I don't think it's really needed. I think if we find a decent... Now the problem is if I have a sustain, if I have a note that is faster than my... Yeah, let's try to see what happens. Like I do an attack time of 0.3, right? And a release time of 0.3, which is really a lot. So now on the fast notes, that would barely be able to play the note before going down again, So we may even lose some nodes, I think, in the fast ones. We didn't lose, but okay, let me try to make this even worse. So let's do 1 and 1, which obviously makes no sense. But just to understand if we understood the logic, right? Yeah, the problem is there is always the same node now, and so it's not really. I think we are losing nodes anyway. I think we are losing nodes. Let me do it with the real nodes, even if we click, but we understand this dynamic. No, wait. I need to say, did I save the meta sound? Because if I don't save the meta sound, it's not. It will click fine. You see? We are losing nodes because it takes so much time to start and end that they basically overlap, right? So okay, I mean this was just a test. But the point is, can we find an attack time that is reasonable in all cases, right? So is 0.1 and 0.1 reasonable in all cases or not? Or does it sound bad? And here I have in my example kind of the longest note and the shortest note by purpose so that we can, apart from the click, ignore the click. I think it's pretty good, and it is probably the maximum speed that we will allow. So I think as a first pass, you know, without going crazy and make it a science project, I think that this envelope to me is okay. Now we may decide to have a different curve here now, because the attack curve, so this one, right, can be linear like this, or can be like this, or can be like this, right? So one is logarithmic and the other is exponential. So we can, it's more like that actually, but, and the same for the release, right? The same for the release. So, but I don't think that that is really important at the moment. I think what is important at the moment is that we need to have instruments recorded that are actually longer than 1 second. I think 1 second is really too little. So I need a sustained flute note for a significant amount of time. Do we have anyone that can actually do the recording of this thing? Or not? Any of you has a flute and can actually sustain the note decently for 2 seconds and can record all the notes for me? Because I need it. I need it! Okay, just 1 second. Someone is at my door and I will come back in a second, okay?
By the gods, this can't be happening.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, there was someone in need of my help for a few minutes. Okay. So anyway, thank you, Barney, for the follow. Thank you. No, I was saying, can we find a flute notes though, or not? No. Flute descending. I think these ones are just random. Holy shit. Okay, no, thank you. Can we get it with the? Can we get it with the synthesizers? Maybe we can. Where are my synthesizers? These ones. Maybe with this we can. The only problem would be to find. No, it doesn't work anymore. Seriously? No, they removed it. Did they seriously remove it? No, it was a very nice. So they were online synthesizer. All of the synthesizer were actually available. Leave your mail and get free access to all the synth. No problem. I don't know what they will send me, but I don't care. I could have used the spam email, but okay. That is better. This one doesn't exist anymore, but the others do. If we can find in this list, I don't remember which one was the good one, but there was. But these ones are not working anymore, boys. No, they're all dead. They're all dead. We were using this synth some time ago. The problem is that these one are really synths. Meaning that they don't have samples. I think for the flute we really need someone with samples. It's kind of fun website. I cannot find any more those ones. I remember there was one where you had all the samples to load. Yeah, kind of, but yes, was one of these ones, and wow, Holy volume. Wow, 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 wow. Holy. But we need I mean, we just need a flute. We just need a flute, boys. Can you find me a flute? I need I need I will never find it. I think it's easier if we simulate it with Muse. Like if I change, like if I wait. Like if I how do I do this? Let me do a new score, because when you do a new score, it's asking you the instruments. So if I use this, and then I play, and then I play a long note like this. Hey bro, it's not very long though. Why so short? Why? It's like wow 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 wow. I don't know why. Also, don't really like the note, but I mean the one that we had was much better. I have found 814 flute sounds in Wave, but you need to register. Are they divided by note or not? 814 flute sounds. Yeah, but they need to be note by note, right? So that's the problem that we have. Instrument. I can check with my keyboard. I actually have a keyboard. I mean a keyboard meaning a musical keyboard. Irish flute. What is the difference? Irish flute. Terrible. They all sound very fake. I don't think they are WAV files. Send me in Discord, Hulla. I can check it. Because if we don't have the right sounds, you know, we will never be able. I mean, the system will anyway sound bad. Unfortunately, I think the system at the moment is okay, so we can use this together with our MIDI player. I think it's fine. We can use the MIDI note out, and we can. So what we will have to do in our source, right? Because we said that we said that we will go into play exactly here, right? Here we are client side. Here we are client side, so we will have to enable. We will have to enable because I want whatever I can. I want to do it in C++, so that is a bit faster, you know. So we will have to do. We will have to prepare the 2 meta sounds. And the question is, where do we want the 2 meta sound to be? Do we want those 2 meta sound to be on the player, or we want them to be on the instrument? Meaning if they pick up a flute, the 2 meta sound are actually on the flute. I think considering you cannot play 2 instruments at the same time, at least not for now, can also go on the player, right? Send it to me on Discord, who I can check. Yeah, so the question is, do we want this on the player or on the instrument? Now, on the instrument, I think it's a bit weird because on the instrument, no, I think we should do it on the play. I'm thinking, and it can even be on the player controller actually. If he's on the player controller though, wait a second, there is a problem. There is a problem. The problem is that this is multiplayer, right? Meaning that if I hear 2 people playing, right? If I hear 2 people playing next to me, I will have to, yeah, the sound will have to go through them, right? The sound will have to go through them. And also it has to be spatial based. So the 2 audio, so yeah, the audio component must be attached to the player, not to the player controller, to the actual pawn, right? It must be attached to the pawn. So I think if we put 2 meta sounds per player, assuming it is no, also NPC, because an NPC can also play instruments. So yeah, on the pawn, I think in our case would be character BP, PS character BP. Flute loops. Flute loops. $814 sounds. Yeah, but I need one for each note. Do they have one for each note or not? Because it's just people playing randomly. I mean, it's not really helpful. Like if it's like this, it's zero usage to me. Okay, I understand. So they have some and some. So we can pa 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 pam. I need the notes, right? So definitely these are, none of this is valid for us. None of this is valid, probably because they don't have to be loops. They have to be one shot. I mean, we can also take one sound and then one sound and then alter the tone, right? We can also do that, but Obviously, it would be nicer if it's really the right note, but wah, 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 wah. Eh. Yeah, something like this. The problem is that it doesn't tell you, I mean, it tells you B4. Do you have the collection or not? Show similar. What is get lucky? Ethnical. Because I need them in a sequence, right? I need the C, the D, the E. I mean, like this is impossible. Unless they are organized in a collect. Ah, okay. Here is the D, M, F, C. C, G, M, C, M. But for example, GM is a chord. Yeah, exactly. So he's playing on GM chords. So it's not. No, I think it's. I mean, it's interesting website, Ulla, but I think it's not giving us what we need. I mean, it will take like a lot of time to find out all the sounds and understand which one are which, and it's strange they are not organized in a collection, right? Ethnic flute and whistles. If I click here, do a pack. Well, okay, wait. There is a pack. Can I go on the pack? No, I cannot click it. I mean, I'm trying to click it, but maybe the pack is already this one. Okay, this is the pack, I guess. I guess there is the pack. Yeah, but I think it's a bit tough to sort it out. No, I think it's good. It's a good website, but ethnic flute and whistle was this one. This seems to be more of a music site, right? So and so they have maybe songs or short songs and no. So they have stuff like that. Probably is not what we need, Ulla. But thank you for checking. But thank you for checking. Okay, so I think we can also assume that the sounds will be okay, and we can do the work, right? We can do the work of putting. So the work I need to do, I need to put 2 meta sound. Let me just write it down, maybe. So the loading is done, actually. The storing is done as well, because I think we are already storing the meta sound in our database. Now the problem is to play it. I think I need to create another file, another paint thingy. I think I need to create another paint thingy to actually list what we need to do, because otherwise I'm lost. So let's say integration of meta sounds, for musical instruments in PS Unreal. Okay. So what do we need to do? The first thing that we need to do, we need to decide like I said, the location of the meta sound. So, and the location of meta sound is our player. So we will add, I think 20 is okay. We will add two meta sound sources. How they are called? They are called meta sound source. This is an audio component. Okay, two audio components. We will add two audio components on PS character BP. Okay. So this includes, right, players and NPC, because NPC can anyway play an instrument in theory, right? So I think we will add those two audio components. Then we copy this guy, this new meta sound source. Okay. So we copy new meta sound, and we will probably rename it. Okay. New meta sound source. To our project, right? And that one is the reference. It will be copied automatically. Then the problem is if I play, right, because they automatically do this or disable auto activate. I think we should disable auto activate on the audio component, right? Exactly. So I think we should disable auto activate on the audio component so that it starts stopped. Is it here? I don't see it. Is it, where is the auto activate? Where is the auto activate? Here. Is here. Okay. Yes, auto activate is off. Okay, good. Auto activate is off. So it's actually on the component. Okay. And that's fine. So we will do that. Perhaps you have something in the shop. I don't think so. By the way, did we get the last market? Did we get the February ones? I think so. Eh? Yes, we got the February ones for sure. So we will have to get the one for. We will have to get the one of March, right? Yes, this one we got. No, I don't think. I don't know. I think sounds. I mean, we can check, but I think sounds are probably like swords or shields, or you know. I think it's unlikely that there is a flute here. It's very unlikely. I mean, I can search, but I think it's very unlikely. There is a flute, ambient music. So is mute? Wait, no. There is a 3D instruments. These are instruments, really. So these are, 3D models. These are 3D models, not sounds. So no, I think or I find a way to get it from the synthesizers, which is a possibility, but I need to find out the one where you were changing, or we get it from a synthesizer that is actually reasonably good. And it is hit. I don't understand this. I don't understand why we actually activate play. So we need to activate the meta sound, right? We need to activate the meta sound and we need to do it only once. Okay. So I think we can do this when the... Because I would like to avoid having the meta sound always on, right? Yeah, I think we will do it at the beginning. So I think we will call play. I think we will call play. Okay. So I think we will call play on the meta sound once, right? Only once when the player activates the song. And then we will play stop. We will call stop, right? On the meta sound once when the player, you know, stops the song or whatever. Right, so this would be, so we will call that. We have to remember this though, because otherwise the meta sound is not playing. I think we did the test, and if the meta sound is not playing, then even if you call not on, not off, whatever, anything is not, you know, it's not doing anything. Then we need our MIDI event. Now this MIDI event exists only if our MIDI event exists only if there is a only if, yeah, that's a good question though. How would that getting initialized? I think it's getting initialized from the MIDI player. So the MIDI player automatically has, because the MIDI player is derived from what? MIDI player is derived from BP asset player, right? And BP asset player is the one that is actually loading the asset. Exactly. So the question I have is, do I a media asset, load asset, media asset? Media asset is a media asset. Media asset. Do we have a MIDI component? We have a MIDI component. We don't have a MIDI asset because the target is MIDI processor component. Yeah, MIDI processor component, I remember it because it's the one that we use when we validate. I think inside the MIDI component there is a processor, if I remember right. Get duration, get track counts, MIDI file, MIDI file, MIDI file, MIDI file, MIDI component. I think we need to investigate exactly what is start, because here in the blueprint seems to be easy, right? Is this MIDI processor component. You just call load and then you just call start, right? MIDI processor component, yes. Is this MIDI? The point is that we don't MIDI processor component, but our MIDI component, this UMIDI component, is this a processor component? That is just called maybe differently in the blueprint. Ah, MIDI processor. Ah, is this guy? Is this guy just named differently in the blueprint? But it is exactly him. So we can call that function. So actually the start, you know, the load and start are okay, perfect. The thing I don't understand too much is this on MIDI event available also inside of this or not? No. On MIDI event is available only on MIDI player. Why I cannot see it? On event, I think it's this one, huh? I think it's this one, 100%. Yeah, it's this one. Actually, it's this one, huh? On MIDI event, F event, MIDI event. I think it's this one. No? But I don't understand. I mean, if I remove it, why I cannot add it back again? Why on MIDI event does not exist? Ah, sorry, because it's on, but probably it's only called MIDI event. I'm a bit confused on this guy. I'm a bit confused on this guy. Is this guy... You see that on MIDI event... Process MIDI events. On MIDI event, this is an asset player. There is in MIDI player. It is in visual player. So it seems that all of them are actually derived from the same class. And they are getting this on MIDI event. But it's kind of weird that I don't find it... See, it doesn't exist here. So the only one... Blueprint assignable. Do you think it's this thing? FF MIDI event. FF MIDI event. F MIDI event. 3 parameters. Yes, but I think it's him. You see, he has 3 parameters here. Event time and track ID. Event time and track ID. Yeah, it's this thing. It's this thing. Is this thing. I'm a bit confused about this. So how... Let me just search 1 second this, because I remember I used it in the past, but I completely forgot what the hell, how to use it. So you are creating a delegate, and so the only thing that I'm confused is, what is the name of this thing? Is this the name? It cannot be the name. So when you declare it this way, right? F event, mid event, then how do you assign a name to... The name is the name of the variable, probably? Yeah, probably. So if I change it to on mid event 2, then we will probably see here on mid event 2, huh? But how do I... How do I don't know. So it's by D. So for example, okay, let's do the thing. So if this is... So it means there is also an event stop, right? There is also an event stop. And the event stop is called on stop and on start, right? So in theory here, I could add an on stop and an on start. The problem is, how do I add it if it's not... If it's not there? Do they come by default? No. Ah, help me, guys. I'm lost in this delegation thingy. So how do I create this? Event end play, right? Is exactly like this, right? But the difference is that end play, right, I can find like this, but on MIDI event I cannot find like this, which is super strange. I'm so confused now. Why I cannot find this one? Because this is the one that I need to call. So basically this is the function, right? That is the function that is really broadcasting the event. So in theory, instead of this line, right? Instead of this line, I can call my thingy. I can call my function. Unless we want to put it in the blueprint, which we can. But the idea would be that when I use... when my MIDI component is actually playing... When my MIDI component is actually playing. I don't understand who is calling this. I don't understand who is calling this. And actually, I think it's this. I think it's this line. So the question is, who is calling this then? And this is called by this, which is called by on event. And so now the question is, who is calling this? On event is still our MIDI processor anyway. Yeah? Our MIDI processor is the one that is doing all that mess. That is doing the dispatch. And it is doing the update. Okay, I think it's through this. Yes, I think it's through that. So the question is, do we want to change the way, I mean, do we want just to call another function there, or do we want, because the end result for us is exactly this function. So it's a call, right? Is a call with the event, the milliseconds, and the track ID. And this should and this should do this. You know what is the problem is that here we have the MIDI player as a blueprint inside the level, while in our C++ code at the moment we have the MIDI processor. We have the MIDI processor generated on the fly, you see, is this guy. So we basically create a MIDI processor on the fly, which is okay. I don't think it's very heavy, right? So I think it's fine. Whenever we need to play or not. But then the MIDI component is not really sitting anywhere, right? So we cannot say, so we need to, or we make this MIDI component again a part of our client. It's not very easy, eh? It's not very easy. Okay, let's try to summarize what we have. We have client side. We have we read the MIDI file. So this part is okay. This graph is okay. We read the MIDI file and we send it to the server. Now, on the server side, the first thing that we do this. And we create a MIDI component to load the file that was sent to us. And we validate it. But this is like a server-side validation, just to understand if the MIDI file is a valid MIDI file, right? And we store that information into the database in the content. Right? So step number 1 is basically done. Step number 2, I think, is also done, because I think we checked already. Right? Now, step number 3 is the one that we are missing, and I'm struggling a bit now to understand how to do. Hello, Hosni9300. Hey, welcome. Hello. I'm trying to organize. The problem is that I'm trying to organize a bit my thinking on where to put the audio components that will actually play the musical instrument sounds, and how to juggle between, you know, the classes that we already have and the MIDI plugin with the meta sound thingy. So I'm trying to crystallize in my mind a kind of a design, you know, of these pieces, because I have the pieces. So I read the MIDI file, I validate the MIDI file, and I can play in a separate project at the moment, but I can play from a MIDI file the meta sounds, right? So that's, those pieces are there, but I cannot yet connect them. So I'm trying to understand how to connect them. And this is a beginning, right? So to add the two audio component to character BP, copying the meta sounds in our project, you would have to activate and then play, and then call play. Now, when we call play, this is where I'm a bit stuck, because when I call play, in theory, I need to call play on a MIDI component. So one second, I need to redo that, otherwise I'm confusing myself. So let me copy this. Let me copy this thing. No, or maybe this graph is already the good one. So the number 1 and number 2, we are doing it already. My problem is number 3. Okay, my problem is number 3. So where do I trigger this, right? I have my play. No, I think I need to run it, boys. If I don't run it, I'm confusing myself. Let me close everything, save everything, launch the real project, and play one song so that I remember where we are on that, because otherwise I'm just confused. I'm just confused. I'm just confused. There are too many pieces, and I'm like lost a bit on where I am. There are too many pieces. Okay, I'm starting the database. I'm starting the server. Let's start the server with just the default. Yes, exactly. Default items, we don't care. NPC, we don't care. Quest, we don't care. Everything, we don't care. So let's start the server like that, and the client like this. And in our dummy database samples, we should have an item on our main character that is already a score, right? And that score should no, but I need to launch, sorry, I need to launch the server in debug mode. Need to launch the server in debug mode, because I want to know if we arrive in, for sure we arrive here. I'm not sure if we arrive already in play song, right? Probably yes, because this code I wrote recently, kind of recently. So okay, this is already running the server. Okay, fine. What? Wait, probably because there is the client open, and if there is the client open, this guy cannot run. Okay, now it's running. So now we can start the client. Now we can start the client. Okay, I'm just waiting the server and client to start. Okay, we go local. We go local and we just wait the server. Where is the server? Why the server didn't... Why? No, he's running, he's running. He's streaming levels now. He's streaming levels and streaming, yeah. And it's taking a bit to start because we have all the levels at the moment. We have all the levels. It should be pretty much done now. He's streaming the outdoor maps. Okay, it is up now. So I think if you go with this character, right? We go with this character, and we try to... Okay, here is our blank score, right? Okay, perfect. Now I remember this thing. So if I click on compose, right? If I click on compose, it's searching in my musical sheet directory, which at the moment is empty, for one file. But this is already filled in with something. I don't know with what, but blank score. There should already be a thing. So if I click on play, no, this play is actually not calling. He's not calling the play, yeah. But a compose, I think it was. So let me see. So at the moment we are running from what? We are running from... we are running from here. Save the musical sheets. Yes, musical sheets is empty. So if we can take the same song, this beautiful song, just this example, right? Where is this? Okay, anyway, I can save it. I can save it in that directory, I guess. No. I need it as a MIDI file, huh? I need it as a MIDI file. Ah, okay. They are all here already. Okay, fantastic. So I think we take probably this guy. We copy and we put it in musical sheets. Okay, we put it here. And now, okay, let me try to do this again. Ah, you see, now it sees this. So if I select this guy, okay. We go here. So the selection, I think is fine. And now I don't know if we really want to do this, but we can, it's fine. We can run through this. And the score has been updated. So actually he selected this and he put it in the score, right? Which means that we have a score. Now the play I think is not connected yet. So we need to connect the play. And the play we'll have to call, and the play we'll have to call what? It will have to call request song play, request song play, right? Okay, let's try to do that piece, because if we don't connect the pieces, I'm lost. So I need to be able to connect the pieces. already after midnight. Wow. Unfortunately, I will have to go very soon because I have to wake up tomorrow early and pity because I finally, I mean, it took me like 1 hour or two, but I'm finally, now I'm in the right mindset. Right now I know exactly where I am in this thing. At least I have much better understanding. The last time we did it was more than 2 months ago, so now I think I have a good understanding. So I have to avoid losing that. Let me at least connect the play button, and this UI will be reworked, but at the moment it's good enough, let's say. You may remember this a lot when you get in again. Yeah, it will be tomorrow, so I mean, it takes me time to switch again from you know, one problem to a completely different problem. But so let me see this UI. So we have a UI for song or music Yes, we have the music score UI. So this is the UI. As soon as it loads, okay, is here. Look, Fergus, the default is by Fergus, huh? Okay, this button, is this button connected to anything? Probably not. Yeah, exactly, it's not connected to anything at the moment. Okay, so this button we go. So what this button needs to do? Well, it needs to call bada bum 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 bum. It needs to connect to a player controller function, because anyway he has to go server side and validate if we can actually play the song, right? It's not just he can play the song, because he needs to play the song for everyone else. So I remember maybe you blaming me for that. Yeah, so player controller music, right? Do we have a music thingy? Audio music. Okay, audio music, receive musical okay, perfect. Request, so we had a new event. And this event will be, it's a pity I need to go now because I'm really into the zone now. Request load song on PC, whatever is this name. Request song play. Request zone play on PC. And this one will be replicated, run on server, and reliable. And what kind of input should it have? I think it should have the item ID only. Yes, it should only have the item ID. Because from the item ID we manage everything. So input item ID is an integer. We save this, and this one is going to call request song play, which is the actual one on the server, and it is client requests song to play a song, right? Da, 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 da. Okay. So here we need to go player controller. I assume you have already, yes. Right? Okay, anyway. We go player controller, and on player controller we call request play request song play on PC. Okay, the item ID I think we have, no? Yes, we have the item ID. Perfect. Okay, so now this will call... Now this will call that function. Yeah, I failed to save because we have the... No! Unbelievable. Okay, I actually killed... Instead of killing the server, I killed the editor. GG. GG! Hello, Super 3D Crafts. How are you today? You got this? Yeah, maybe. I closed the editor. Fuck. Instead of closing the server, I thought there was the window of the server. It was not. Shit. So I think I lost my pieces because I didn't save it. No. No. Anyway, okay. Let's redo it. It's very quick. Okay, we said on clicked, and then we said on player controller under music. We need to create a new event, and this event will be called no. Will be called request song play on PC, right? And has only one input, which is the item ID we said, which is an integer, and this one is going to call the real one, which is request song play, which is taking this, right? Yeah, I had to redo it, boys, but anyway, it's fine. So client request to play a song. Let me save it this time. Can you save it, please? Thank you. Now here we call player controller, and we call request song play on PC, and we said we pass the item ID. Okay, so we have that. Now this is going here, and this is going to our code here. That is going into handle play song message, and here we have it. Now the first thing that I think we need to do, we need to validate that it can actually play, but I think it will be the same as we did. The score has been checked on save, no need to check it again here. Okay, I mean the check meaning if the score is properly formatted or whatever, I think is okay, but still the can play. Yes, you see that here we have the can play score rank. Okay, let's run it now. Let's run it now. And let's see if we reach that breakpoint. I think we will. And then we will follow this code, and then I'm going to go because it's too late. But we will follow this, and I think this part will work okay. In theory, this should be working fine. If I have the instrument equipped, obviously, because I need to have an instrument in my hand, and it is probably when it's going to break. No, I think it's fine. In long range, yes, in long range, because it is basically searching all the players that are around the current player, and it's starting to play. Now, if a player goes closer to the long range perception after after the song started playing, you will not hear it. Which I understand is a bit weird, but at the moment, that's the simplest way. Silly tiger, yes. So if I open this blank score and I click on play, holy, you didn't? I don't have the instrument, maybe. You didn't? Okay. I mean, fine, but it's kind of strange. It should come here, no? Request song play. Ah, wait. Error item 11006 not finding musical sheet message from client. I think I did something stupid. Yeah, but I need to go now. But anyway, yeah, but that's the path. That's the path. Now the complexity will be not just to play the song, which I think will be relatively easy. The complexity will be if you want to do this. So if you want to have three people playing together the same song. So not the, I mean, to play together a score that compose a song. So that will be a bit harder because we need to validate the start, right? So they have to start all at the same time, and I don't know. I think we had the issue in the old game. We will have the issue also in the new game. Exactly the same. Anyway, guys, if you want to help us in any way, please do. Like leaving a follow, subscribing on YouTube. But we also have a Patreon site, which is patreon.com/planeshift. Yeah, I didn't replicate it. That's why. And yeah, or if you want to, you know, help with the development, you can. There are a million things to do. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I just want to see. I just want to see. I just want to see that we are calling this function, but I think now we will call it. And then I'm going to bed happy. But we did good test tonight, so we revamped the meta sound. We did a test based on the length of the wave file, and we realized that we need a, you know, we need a better sounds of the right length, and so I think that we went into the right direction. We didn't do a lot of progress per se, but at least I enter again into the discussion, and I think that so this will be ready for the next release. I think it's not very hard to do now. We have all the pieces, so it's just a matter of, well, there are one or two things that are tough, like connecting the MIDI processor and understanding exactly where to initialize it and how to have that on event, you know, getting called. But at the end, when we understand that, I think we will have all the pieces. Okay, let me try now. So if I click on play, oh, okay, now he's calling it. Now he's calling it, so okay. So you see, he finds the item because the item is actually existing. So we find that, Probably will say that I don't have the instrument. Yeah, exactly. You don't have an instrument equipped, right? So it's giving me the error. I can skip it 1 second, but yeah, but this will crash because there is no instrument. Yeah. But anyway, if we go here, then it will. So character actor is good. Instrument. It will try to execute this, and I don't know exactly what this is doing. Yeah, we will have to validate this part of the code because this is very different from what it was. But in theory, if this works, then we will reach this point. Yes. Yeah. But anyway, I think it's working fine. I think the sequence is correct. Okay, guys, I really need to go. It's super late, super late. So, thank you for watching, and thank you again to Unreal for the raid, and everyone that everyone that followed tonight. Thank you for the follows, and yeah, see you. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, so I will not be able to stream because I'm actually playing roleplay tabletop. But I will be here on Saturday afternoon around 4 p.m. European time. Okay, I will be around that time. Even if there is a tournament that I want to follow, but I think I will stream anyway. Okay, boys. See you. Bye bye.